Have you ever looked across the dinner table at your longtime partner and felt a strange, unsettling distance? A quiet question mark hanging in the air where easy companionship used to be? If you're sensing a shift, a cooling of affection that you can't quite put your finger on, you are absolutely not alone. This is one of the most common, yet deeply painful transitions that can occur in a long-term marriage, and today we're going to pull back the curtain on exactly why it happens. We're diving deep into the complex world of aging relationships to understand the 9 key reasons why a husband might start to pull away emotionally, showing indifference or even resentment toward his wife after years or even decades together. This isn't about placing blame, it's about understanding the human heart, the passage of time, and the intricate dance of a shared life. By the end of our time together, you will have a clear, compassionate understanding of the underlying forces at work, and most importantly, you will be equipped with the knowledge to begin healing, reconnecting, and rebuilding a partnership that feels loving, supportive, and joyful once again. Let's start with one of the most visible, yet often misunderstood factors, the natural evolution of physical attraction. In the early, heady days of a relationship, physical attraction is often intense and effortless. It's fueled by newness, by chemistry, by the excitement of discovery. But as the years march on, our bodies change. It's an inevitable and universal truth. Weight may fluctuate, hair grays, skin wrinkles, and the boundless energy of youth inevitably settles into a different rhythm. For some husbands, if the relationship's foundation is not constantly reinforced, they can begin to see their wife primarily through the lens of these external changes. They might unconsciously compare her to the young woman she once was, or to unrealistic media ideals, and in doing so, they completely overlook the magnificent woman she is today. But here's the crucial part. So many miss genuine, lasting attraction is so much more than skin deep. It's about energy, shared laughter, the light in her eyes when she talks about something she loves, the comfort of her touch, and the wealth of shared history written in the lines on her face. When a husband focuses solely on the physical, he misses the entire symphony of the person beside him. The key to overcoming this is for both partners to intentionally nurture their connection, to rediscover each other not just as bodies that have aged, but as souls that have grown, and to prioritize physical intimacy as an expression of love, not just a reaction to appearance. Now, this leads us directly to the silent killer of countless marriages: communication breakdown. Think back to your first dates. You probably talked for hours, sharing your dreams, your fears, your favorite movies, and your pet peeves. You were fascinated by every word. Fast forward 20, 30, or 40 years, and conversations can easily become purely transactional. What's for dinner? Did you pay the electric bill? What time is the doctor's appointment? The meaningful, soul-nourishing chats fade away, replaced by a quiet coexistence. When couples stop communicating their deeper feelings, they begin to make assumptions. A husband might assume his wife knows he's stressed about work, so he doesn't say anything. She might assume he's not interested in her day because he doesn't ask. Small misunderstandings, left unspoken, calcify into major resentments. He feels ignored. She feels unappreciated. A wall of silence and assumption builds brick by brick until they feel like strangers, living under the same roof, orbiting each other's lives without truly connecting. Rebuilding this is essential. It requires creating safe spaces for conversation, putting down phones, making eye contact, and asking open-ended questions like, "How are you really feeling about everything?" Or, "Is there anything I can do to support you better?" It's about moving from being roommates back to being confidants. This communication drought often creates a third major issue: the suffocating weight of routine and stagnation. Marriage can easily become a well-worn rut of predictable patterns. The same morning routine, the same evening news show, the same restaurant on Saturday night. While comfort is good, a complete lack of novelty is deadly to passion. The relationship begins to feel less like a thrilling adventure, and more like a comfortable but boring pair of slippers. The wife, who was once a source of excitement and mystery, can unintentionally be placed in the mom or manager category in her husband's mind. He stops seeing her as his lover and partner in crime and starts seeing her primarily as the person who handles the grocery list and reminds him to take his medication. This role confusion is a major passion killer. Breaking free requires a conscious effort to inject novelty. It doesn't have to be a fancy vacation, though that's great too. It can be as simple as trying a new recipe together, going for a spontaneous drive, taking a dance class, or even just reading the same book and discussing it. The goal is to create new shared experiences that remind you both why you chose each other in the first place, outside of the daily grind of responsibilities. And speaking of roles, nothing reshapes a marriage quite like the impact of parenting. The arrival of children is a beautiful, life-changing event, but it dramatically redistributes a couple's time, energy, and focus. Often, the mother becomes the primary caregiver, her attention consumed by the all-encompassing needs of the children. A husband can start to feel like he's dropped to second or even third place on the priority list. He may see his wife constantly giving her best energy, patience, and love to the kids, and by the time evening comes, he gets the exhausted leftovers. He might feel sidelined, like a guest in his own home. If he tries to help and is criticized for not doing it the right way, he may withdraw further, leading to even more distance. The romantic partner connection gets buried under the parenting partnership. To prevent this, couples must fiercely guard their time as a couple. This means scheduling regular date nights, even if it's just a walk around the block after the kids are in bed. It means presenting a united front to the children and making a conscious effort to transition from mom and dad back to husband and wife whenever possible. It's about reminding each other that the marriage is the foundation upon which the entire family is built. Underneath all of this often lies the ache of unmet emotional needs. Everyone has a fundamental need to feel seen, heard, and valued by their partner. As life gets busy, we can become terrible mind readers. We assume our partner knows we love them, so we stop saying it. We assume they know we appreciate them, so we stop showing it. A husband might have a deep need for words of affirmation. He wants to hear, "Thank you for working so hard for us," or "I'm really proud of you." If his wife, who might show love through acts of service like cooking a great meal, does verbalize her appreciation, he may feel completely unseen and taken for granted. This feeling of emotional neglect can cause him to shut down. He stops sharing his feelings because he doesn't believe she's listening or cares to understand. He builds a fortress around his heart to protect himself from the disappointment of not having his needs met. Healing this requires open, vulnerable communication about what each partner needs to feel loved. It's about learning each other's love languages and making a daily effort to speak them, whether it's a hug, a helping hand, or a simple, sincere "I love you." All of these issues, if left unaddressed, snowball into our sixth reason, a mountain of unresolved conflicts. Many couples develop a habit of avoiding arguments to keep the peace. They sweep disagreements under the rug, about money, about in-laws, about household chores. But these issues don't disappear. They fester and multiply under the surface, creating a low-grade resentment that poisons the entire relationship. A husband might still be holding on to a hurtful comment from 5 years ago. A wife might be seething about him forgetting a significant anniversary. Because it was never discussed and resolved, these wounds remain open. Every new minor irritation gets added to this old pile, until one day, a simple request like, "Can you take out the trash?" triggers a completely disproportionate outburst, because it's not about the trash. It's about every single unresolved issue that came before it. Healthy relationships aren't conflict-free, they are conflict-resilient. They address issues early, calmly, and with a focus on finding a solution together, rather than winning the argument. For many men, this entire cocktail of issues can erupt during a period known as a midlife crisis. As husbands approach middle age, they often begin an intense period of self-reflection. They confront their own mortality, they might question their career choices, and they take stock of their life achievements. A man in this state can become restless, withdrawn, and deeply critical of his life, and unfortunately, That criticism is often misdirected at his wife. He might irrationally blame her for dreams he feels he had to give up, or he might see her as a symbol of the routine life he now finds stifling. This isn't about her actions, it's about his internal struggle and his fear of aging and missed opportunities. He may seek to reclaim his youth by making drastic changes, and the stable, familiar presence of his wife can feel like an anchor holding him back, when in truth, she could be his safest harbor through the storm. Navigating this requires immense patience, understanding, and often professional help to guide him through his existential questions without destroying the marriage in the process. Furthermore, we cannot ignore the immense weight of external stresses. Life is full of pressures that have nothing to do with the marriage but impact it tremendously. Financial worries, demanding jobs, caring for aging parents, serious health diagnoses. These stressors can be all-consuming. When a husband is overwhelmed by, say, the fear of losing his job, he may become irritable, withdrawn, and emotionally unavailable. He retreats into his own world of worry. His wife might misinterpret this withdrawal as a personal rejection. She might think, "He's so distant, he must not love me anymore," when in reality, he is drowning in stress and doesn't know how to ask for a lifeline. In these times, it's easy to turn on each other instead of turning toward each other. The marriage stops being a shelter from the storm and becomes another battlefield. The antidote is to make a conscious effort to be a team, to say, "This is a tough time, but we will get through it together. How can I support you right now?" It's about facing external pressures as a united front. Finally, all of these factors contribute to a simple but profound lack of appreciation. It's the feeling of being invisible, of your efforts going completely unnoticed. A husband who works long hours to provide might feel like his sacrifice is just expected, not valued. A wife who manages the entire household might feel like her constant labor is invisible until something is out of place. When we stop saying thank you for the small things, we stop seeing our partner altogether. We see only what they don't do, and we blind ourselves to all that they do. This sense of being undervalued is a powerful catalyst for dislike. Why would you feel warmly towards someone who makes you feel insignificant? Reigniting appreciation is a daily practice. It's about noticing the small things. "Thanks for making the coffee this morning, I noticed. You filled up the gas tank. I appreciate that." And expressing gratitude for them. It's about making your partner feel seen every single day. The journey through these challenges is not easy, but it is possible. It requires courage, honesty, and a willingness to look inward as much as you look at your partner. Your marriage is a living thing. It needs to be nurtured, watered with kindness, and given sunlight through shared joy. It's never too late to choose each other again, to learn to communicate, to reignite appreciation, and to rebuild the beautiful connection that brought you together in the first place. Thank you so very much for spending this time with me today, for caring enough about your relationships to seek understanding and wisdom. Your journey toward a more loving and connected partnership is an inspiration to us all.